The tunes aren't good. All right. Company, attention. What's good, everybody? You know what it is. It's another week. We back. It's a Thursday. Feeling refreshed after an immaculate last week, but we're going to see if we can keep that party going wrong. Y'all see the name change is more prevalent. I'm not going to even flash the graphic. I save that till Sunday, but it's it's myself. You got the man, the people's coach, CC. We up in here. So another week, like I say, is up again. NFL Week 7 is in full effect, and we gonna tap in and talk about it. A lot of stuff going on around the NFL. It's almost like you can't get away with not speaking about it with this starting week. We try to hold off, but I mean, I'm very sure it's gonna come up again. So what the heck? Of course, as we all know. Matter of fact, CC, what's been going on around the NFL, bro?
Man, Devontae Adams finally landed in the New York Jets. I saw Raiders fans a little disgruntled about it. I was checking out the little Raiders fan page, and they said, "Oh, he took his ball and went home. Oh, say he a crybaby. Oh, he quit or whatever." But no, he didn't quit, people. His legacy was dying there in the Raiders. And it's not just because y'all not winning. It's because y'all not using them right. Y'all not even giving them targets the way that he should be getting targets or whatever. So I don't know if it's going to work out for him in New York either, because if Garrett Wilson supposed to be that guy, then I don't know how you're going to fit Devontae into that or make that work. But we know Aaron Rodgers, that's somebody. Aaron Rodgers, we'll get there later. But Aaron Rodgers, I just want to put this out there. You keep bringing everybody from Green Bay over there. Like, it's looking like Green Bay. It looked like Green Bay 3 years ago 3 or 4 years ago in New York right now. Like, that's what I'm saying. So who's running that team?
The funniest thing I see, like I seen a couple of memes today, but one of the funniest memes I seen today was first and foremost, I seen one that said in the unfortunate turn of events, the Las Vegas Raiders have traded for Aaron Rodgers. I fell out laughing. I was like, but then one that was surprising that I seen that really had me going was they said breaking news: Jordy Nelson has signed with the New York Jets.
Right.
I was like,
I saw that one.
I was like, they is out there wilding for real.
They had Eddie. What was the name they had? Eddie Lacy on.
Eddie Lacy, yeah, Eddie Lacy.
I saw that.
They had him. He's huge. I was like, they is wild, bro. I was like, they is crazy with it.
And then you got to say, man, sad parts of this past week with Aiden Hutchinson done for the year, maybe done for probably a year and a half or something with that injury. It was gruesome. And then Shaheed, what's his name? Shaheed or whatever for the Saints. Right. He done for the year. He out for the year. Man, it's just been some big blows to certain teams.
It is crazy. It is crazy in which, the Rashid Shaheed thing situation kind of like impacts tonight's game, because now, like we were just talking about before we went live, when you take in consideration the whole the Las Vegas, not the Las Vegas Raiders, the New Orleans Saints were in the game. Spencer Rattler was looking hella good for the most part, first half of that game against Tampa Bay, and then all of a sudden it was an implosion. What was a 24-20 was a 20-24 victory at halftime turned into a 51-24 blowout at the end of the game, and some of that legitimately we can say came because Rashid Shaheed went down, Chris Olave went down, concussion. In which those are their top two receivers. Alvin Kamara can only do so much, and like you just said, Spencer Rattler is a rookie technically, even though he was looking good. So it's like, what can you expect from me? Which brings up the game for tonight. Is like, what's going to be the expectations going forth when you look at the fact of, I'm very sure Sean Payton's licking his chops now. Like, okay, I'm going to get them when they, when they down, but certain things could be surprising. Taysom Hill, still recovering from 2 fractured ribs or obliques. So Derek Carr is recovering from an oblique. Yeah. Taysom Hill fractured ribs. So it's like they're fleeting. Like these players are starting to really feel it. When we look at the first one, the Majors one, the Cooper Cups, the Nick Chubbs, the Parasols, and all that type of stuff that are looking to potentially come back these coming weeks. And here you go with the next crop of players that are exiting stage left as they with these injuries. So I mean, I don't know what they can do. Is it better conditioning? Is it is what's going on with the team seasonal? Like I don't know, but definitely like you said, more to come in reference to that on Sunday as we look and get to it. But for the most part, the Denver stuff. Oh, you know what? First, I have to shout out. I think there's a collision that is coming, CC. Coach, I think there is something that's coming when you look at the round ball, the hard ball, the diamond. I think there's two particular teams that's on the collision course
I know
that's
what you're
going
saying.
that's going to remix this and bring it back to where that old
Man,
rivalry is coming back. And that's of
everybody
course,
gonna tune in.
oh yeah,
Otani versus Judge gonna be the headlines, man. That's hey, if that happens, I'm not, because the Yankees losing right now to Cleveland right now as we speak.
mm-hmm.
I think it was 2-1, but and Cleveland can even that series up. But I'm just saying, I mean, Cleveland can get a win in that series. But man, I hope that happens. New York versus LA, that's gonna be huge. That's everybody gonna watch that.
Coast to coast, the Coastal Wars. Interesting enough, or of course, would it be interesting as well? I guess you could say if from what odd reason they were able to run the table and go on a 3-0 run or something like that. A Subway Series again, another Subway Series, New York Yankees versus the New York Mets. But in any case, the Yankees and Dodgers looking like that's going to be. I was looking, I was like, yo, I gotta get my Dodgers jersey out the closet, but it's a little snug now, so I'm gonna have to even just settle for getting a beanie.
Imagine the star power of that series, man. I just mentioned the two biggest, Otani and Judge, but then you got Mookie Betts, who's also huge, and then you got Juan Soto. You got, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Carlo, it's so
Giancarlo Stanton, man.
Yeah.
You start going down the list.
Yeah,
Man,
it's peppered. Moonsey, it's peppered. Like it's peppered. It's definitely. I think it eclipsed that of what we just seen last year with Texas winning. So so it's definitely I'm there for it. Looking forward to it. Again, last night, Stewie cooking. And you know what? The disrespect of Stewie, right? If y'all know, Stewie is Breanna Stewart, star center for the Washington Liberty WNBA. Last night she was cooking, doing her thing. But do you know she said I would feel disrespected if I was the Minnesota the Lynx, because Stewie is like, I like the matchups. I seen it. I was liking what they was throwing at me, so I was very comfortable. As we know, she dropped 30 and 10 last night, but the star of it was Sabrina Ionescu with the.
That's what I was gonna say. You cooking, but it still took a miracle three. It took a jump. It took a three at the last, in the last seconds of the game to win that game. Trey.
But she said she was, and I feel like Stewie was honest. She was saying that they just gave her the ball and let her cook and let her bag it down, let them bag her down. She said she was chipping away, and slowly but surely she was doing her thing, which put them like they was up. The Lynx was up 15 points. It ended up losing by last second 3, and that's only because it was a second left. So had the Nescu missed that, then they would have went to overtime, and it probably would have been the Breanna Stewart show all over again.
But even with that said, they gonna change up their coverages on them, man. They gonna cover. I mean, you gotta run some double teams, you gotta run some triple teams, you gotta do something different, or you gotta surprise like what the WNBA is right now is what the NBA used to be. They playing a lot of back to the basket. The centers play a lot of back to the basket, back and down. And we learn by people like Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen that when you're back to the basket, that double team coming from the blind side is something amazing. Jordan and Pippen was masters at that. I think the WNBA, they're gonna pick up on it and they go like keep backing down if you want to, and then we're just gonna come and steal the ball from the other side. I think it slows the game down. I think the Lynx got to speed it up, because as long as they was playing fast, they was winning. You can't let them slow the game down. You got to keep it fast paced.
And then we talk about Stewie, we talk about Nescu. we ain't even mentioned Jonquel Jones. Like she's a problem in her as well. So I don't know. When they went into the series, even though I would like to see the Lynx win. I automatically thought it was going to be another New York Liberty victory, especially when the Aces was done. So I mean, I guess it remains to be seen. But I'm still with the Lynx in this case.
But I picked the Liberty and the Aces to make it, and I thought Asia Wilson would beat them, but she didn't get to make it this year. That was disappointing. But I can't be mad at the INSQ Jones and Stewart, who claiming, by the way, they not a super team. They say they're not a super team. I don't know what else you call it.
When your whole starting five is a problem, that's pretty distinctive.
They didn't call the Lakers and the Celtics back in the '80s super teams. They didn't call the bad boy Pistons a super team.
But I mean, because it transcends. Like they wasn't like you. Who would have thought like they weren't super teams? I mean, maybe it doesn't transcend. It was just by the letter of the law. They wasn't super teams because, of course, it was. You had James Worthy, who was a first round draft pick, who was a baller during when he was at North Carolina. You had Magic Johnson, who was a baller. You had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was Mr. Everything.
Who was nothing, by the way, until Magic and them dudes came. This dude won one. Dude won one. Stop it. He won one championship all that time. He won championship all that time with Oscar Robertson. He had to do it with Oscar Robertson. This dude ain't never led a team to victory by himself since college. You know what I'm saying? Like Kareem never led a team since college to the championship by himself.
So that's what I was about to say. He won one championship. He won one championship in the pros, but he was a juggernaut in college.
That's what I was going to say.
So yeah,
pros, man. College and pros is a huge difference. And I like Kareem. Don't get me wrong. Kareem, one of the greatest to ever play the game, man. One of the greatest centers to ever play the game. But what I'm saying is that sometimes we pump that guy up high when we know the truth. Magic Johnson was the man on that team, man. Take Magic off that team, Worthy don't win. You don't win with Worthy, Kareem, Byron Scott, Michael Cooper. What was his name with the Kurt Rambis? You don't win with those guys without Magic on that team, man. You don't win.
So, and that's what I was getting at. That's why they weren't considered super teams, because all the names that you just played, no one was checking for them. It's like I sent out, like, ain't no one checking for you, Otis. Like, ain't no one come see you, Otis. But you know what I'm saying?
But they just became. But so many Hall of Famers came out of them Lakers and Celtics teams. Is what I'm saying. Even the Pistons,
Michael Cooper. Right? You're saying like they said, and I didn't realize how prolific Michael Cooper was on the defensive end. 6 times, great all defensive A team. He ain't make a single All-Star game team.
But his frame reminded me of Stacey Augmon, man. Like long, thin, quick feet, quick hands. You know what I mean? Long width, able to guard. Like Coop came with it, man. I don't take nothing away from all those teams back then. But if we come back to the now, that's what I say. When you look at the WNBA, they playing like the older teams with the back to the basket a lot of times. I think by the time Juju makes the league and all that stuff, man, y'all gonna have to switch that up. Y'all gonna have to switch that up. Y'all gonna have to start playing more face to the basket type styles, because they gonna start shutting that stuff down. Like we see it already affecting the Phoenix team. Like Brittany Griner ain't got nothing on it no more, man. She can score. She's still accurate. Close to but it's not winning basketball no more. That it's transcendent. Like you gotta have the INSQs that can shoot the jumper. You gotta have, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have the Asia Wilsons that can step out.
They get like Caitlin Clark. What do you think about Caitlin Clark? I know we're supposed to be on NFL. We're gonna get back to it in a second, but we haven't had a chance to talk the other stuff as well to show the prowess. But what do you think about Caitlin Clark, first rookie to win first team honors since Candace Parker, along with unanimous in Collier and Wilson, and then of course who was that? Breanna Stewart and was it Enescu that was on the second team? Oh no, I think Enescu was second team. Stewart was first team, and the other chick from I can't think of the other chick from Minnesota or for the Connecticut Sun were first team. But what for the most part do you think Caitlin Clark was deserving of that, or
she led the league in assists? Did she lead the league in assists? She was like the top in assists. I mean, if you the top of anything, right? Assist, rebound, scoring, that's what you be counting, right? Even if you a steals leader or something, you make all team defense. So I'm like, a part of offense is assists. So I don't have a problem with that because I don't know who you would put in front of her. You know, I think maybe if Angel Reese didn't get hurt when she got hurt, then maybe she was more deserving with those rebounds. You know, setting those rebound records. I mean, it just depends on what you value more. Clark did also set a record with 3-point shoot. I don't know how she did it, like with 3-point makes or something for a
And
rookie.
scoring, right, for scoring for freshman. I mean,
For a rookie.
a rookie scoring.
So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, so like that's deserving. But I was hearing rumors that she was talking about maybe going over to Europe to play. I was like, I don't know how serious that is, but
Well,
it
she got
showed that.
you get money.
I mean, I'm not mad because the
You heard what
WNBA.
Angel Reese said. She's like her rent is $8,000 a
Yeah,
month, and then she only gets 74,000
yeah.
a year from the WNBA. That's not enough to pay her
But you
bills.
got to kill on the endorsements and stuff. Everybody know the WNBA don't have the money right now to pay y'all like that, but it's coming soon. It's coming soon. The more that's why people. That's why for people, that's why we got to keep supporting and we got to keep watching and we got to keep pumping it because that's the only way they're gonna start getting bread. You know, like and they start to expand and put more teams in. So yeah, I think it's gonna be real interesting. They need to bring Houston back. Houston needs to get a team again. Like we was running the table early on. We need a team again. Yeah.
Whatever. So moving back to the NFL, in which we can. So of course now, what do you think are the possibilities of Lamar Jackson running the table again for a third MVP?
If they give him an MVP, I felt like they gave it to him last year. I felt like
I
his
do too. I
passing
think that
numbers.
was Christian
I feel
McCaffrey.
like his passing numbers weren't that great last year, people. I mean, I don't care if you completed 66% of your passes, you only threw for like 200 yards. I mean, that's what our MVP is now. The MVP is watered down now. It's not, when Aaron Rodgers was winning,
Was
when
going
Aaron
on
Rodgers won MVP? Trey, do you know when Aaron Rodgers won MVP? Do you know that he threw like 37 touchdowns to 5 interceptions? I mean, that's MVP
yeah.
worthy. I mean, what we doing now is just giving it to Lamar Jackson because he video game. Don't get me wrong, he exciting to watch. I mean, seriously, but that's you just giving it to him. I mean, the guy can't beat Patrick Mahomes to save his life. He can't win he ain't won a big playoff game ever. He ain't done nothing. But it's like Peyton Manning to me all over again. You know what? Let that guy get all the awards over there. We'll just keep winning championships. Tom Brady to Peyton Manning. That's what it is to me, people. It's just like that. Like, it's just that simple. I like Lamar. I think he's fun for the game. But, man, win something. Win a Super Bowl. Win. I mean, don't just make it to the Super Bowl. Win the game. You know what I'm saying? Win it. I mean, that's the thing that they play for, Trey. I know you can say you can have all that. Like, he
I
was
mean,
the most.
so no. So I agree. I can agree with you because I like me. It wasn't a bias. Like I legitimately thought that Christian McCaffrey should have been dubbed the
Right.
MVP. You know what I'm saying? He was the most valuable player for his team. And he did this, but I guess when you take a look at it, if you was to remove Christian McCaffrey, I guess the eyesight test was if you remove Christian McCaffrey from the squad, do the 49ers falter? And that wasn't the case because why? Because they had another MVP candidate that was sitting right behind him in Brock Purdy. So it's like, but when you look at when you look at it the other way around, you take a look at Lamar Jackson and Lamar. If you remove Lamar from the Ravens last year, they're faltering. So he was the most valuable player to that team, in which that was
Right.
that was the top player in the league, and hence why he got the award. And so I mean, and now, like I said, and I was clear in saying this. Really, DJ, this is what we gonna do. It's the truth. That's exactly what it was. But now when you look at it, and I stated once that Lamar Jackson teamed up with Derrick Henry, it was going to be Saoirse what they had when it was Ingram and Lamar Jackson, and that was the year that Lamar Jackson won his first MVP award. That run game, the effectiveness of the run game. Honestly, the only thing that's missing right now is them having the go-to receiver. Like they got Bateman, they got Aguilar, which doesn't amount to anything. We saw Andrews have a good game last
Well,
week. Of course, you
Zay,
had like
Zay Flowers, I don't think they use him right. You know what I'm saying? Um, uh, Now, if you just we know they're not winning with. We saw what they look like without Lamar, man. They're an outright team. You know what I'm saying? They're just an outright team. I'm not saying the guy didn't play his tail off, man. All I'm saying is that it's a lot of hype around this guy, but he's not. He's hoisting the MVPs, but he's not around. Like injuries are taking him out multiple times. With like he ain't finishing seasons. Like last year, he did, and he did at least play in the postseason because the couple of years prior he didn't play. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's either injuries. It's something with this guy. I think they relying on him too much. I think. And what I saw, Jaden Daniels is showing you what Lamar Jackson was, what they try to make Lamar Jackson. This guy's dropping 80%, 70, 80% of his passes, and he putting it in the bucket, and he throwing it deep, and he on the money. You know what I'm saying? And
Hey,
when he tuck it and run, he killing. Like you saw
now
them heads, they went head up.
Jaden Daniels has better weapons than Lamar has ever had.
McLaurin is man, he don't get enough light. That guy is like he becoming like
Ohio
right
State.
now. This year he my third favorite receiver this year because I got I'm going with Justin Jefferson out there. And if I was putting together three receivers, I got Justin Jefferson on one side, and then I'm taking Nico Collins in the slot or anywhere you want to play that guy, man. A healthy Nico Collins, that guy earned my respect. He killing it. He was killing it down there in Texas, And then I take and then I'll take McLaurin, man. Put McLaurin on that team. Like you can keep your Devontae Adams, you can keep your Tyreek Hills, you can keep your what's the other guy that's always whining? Stephon Diggs. You can keep all them guys, man. Give me them three right there. I think we can win something.
I mean, I don't argue that. Nico Collins definitely. Like if there was to be a comeback player this year, Nico Collins or most improved player, Nico Collins definitely would do that. Would be that or come back because he did come back from last year from that injury. So he was cooking but unfortunately he went down with yet another injury.
Yeah, another injury.
So saying problematic. But is it Nico? Is it CJ? Like
man, it's both. Hey, somebody got to be open to throw that ball. And sometimes, if you look at it, sometimes Stroud ain't on the money with that pass. Nico just go get it. He sliding to catch it. He diving to catch it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he putting them hands on that ball. He ain't throwing one hand out there to try to look pretty to catch it. He go and get it. Disappointment in DK Metcalf, by the way, man. You're a much better receiver than – what's this trying to catch the ball with your arms? You dropping passes because you forgot how to use your hands all of a sudden? Why you letting it hit your body and stuff, man? Come on, man. This is basic. That's pee-wee football. You already know. Catch it with your hands, not with your arms, not with your forearms and your chest. What are you doing?
You know what? So I can – you know how sometimes like you talk about greatness and stuff like that, and you saw it's unfortunate that Bishop's not on right now, right? Because when we talk about greatness, right? Like when I sit up and go back and look at my career as playing football while in the military and stuff like that, like our intramurals and all that type of stuff. Henry Dozier, DJ as we called it, was my first quarterback while I was at Fort Hood when I first started out playing in 382, playing on field artillery side. Bishop was my quarterback when I moved from there and went to go play in on the other side when I became a culinary specialist and moved on and went to another part of the installation and I started playing same installation, same stuff. Same thing actually when we look at it when I was in 382 Henry was quarterbacking and that team we played on didn't do anything but I played on other teams so I just thought about that to speak to my greatness that I sit up and thought like everyone no one sits up and talks about greatness.
Y'all hear this guy.
No one can speak to my greatness in which say, but that say they concur as we do in the military, concur, not concur. They can concur to what it was. Like I played the same position, playing there for the most part, and then the only difference was when I went and played as a culinary specialist, I was able to go line up as a wideout and do damage there as well. And then of course I always played linebacker, which I preferred that because I just turned defense into offense on a continuous basis. So what I'm saying, but that I digress. That was saying just a memory lane. I was thinking about that seeing DJ, but back to what you were saying, right? In-state is like Nico Collins. He was problematic. I don't know will he continue. Will he be that when he gets back? Appreciate it, sir. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Nice hands, like I said. Yeah, my hands is like that was one thing. We was doing PMCS, right? Last story. We was doing PMCS, our track vehicle, and DJ threw me it was a track jack that we used to keep the track together when we changed it, and so it was heavy. It's heavy, and it's kind of awkward. And he like he threw it to me, and when he threw it to me, I need a mic. When he threw it to me, I caught it. It was like an awkward catch, but like I looked when I caught it. I gave him a look, and he was like, "Oh, okay, nice catch." And so it's like everything, like it's like so anything little thing when you sit and look at that was doing. But like I said, I always had been a person that said my hands was nice. Like if like you said, Nico, you throw it up. That's what I had that same mentality. I don't care where you put it. I'm gonna try to find a way to get it. So basically, you'll say basically that. So you'll say shout out to my man DJ Bishop. He's on, but like I said, going back into Nico's nice. So I don't disagree with what you were saying. Like the ones who say I thought you were gonna say Debo for a second, but we said Debo is when it comes down to catching, Brandon Ayuk gets that go ahead in front of Debo. Debo's just Debo, like he does what he does. So I don't disagree with that. Justin Jefferson has been said for a long time, but now where I start to turn the table is what is going to happen now that you have Devontae back with Aaron Rodgers. I don't think too much is going to happen unless they decide that they keep on talking about Aaron's big arm. I don't see Aaron's big arm anymore. Like it's gone.
I don't know if who running deep on the Jets? I don't see nobody going deep. I see all these little intermediate routes. I don't see like I see all these short routes, But I will say this: I like Debo, I like Ayuk, but they not up there with those guys. Not nearly close, man. Like Ayuk is all right for the San Francisco 49ers. I think if he was on another team, it wouldn't be the same. He's good in that. Like some of them are good in the offenses that they run right now, and we've seen that throughout. Like Devontae wasn't effective in the Raiders offense, even with Derek Carr, because it's a huge difference. The offense that they was running, the offense in Green Bay was designed for a gunslinger to sling it. You know what I mean? The pitch and catch style. So I think that made a difference. You go to a team that's more structured and they want you to run more safe routes. I don't think he could make that adjustment, right? Like he like Randy Moss to me, man. Just line up 99, man, straight up the field. Like go get it. You know what I mean? Because that's what we was used to seeing him do. Like run the post or something, or run the skinny post or something. We didn't really see him running a lot of in cuts, a lot of digs, a lot of outs and stuff like that. He's straight up the field. So I think the Raiders just didn't understand that because the Raiders didn't have a sophisticated offense enough to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage like I'm sure Aaron Rodgers is going to do now when he see the matchups.
I don't know if it's going to get better before it gets worse. Of course, I don't want to show my hand to what I'm picking for this week when it comes to them.
I was gonna say the Jets still ain't gonna win nothing. If that's what you mean. Like they're gonna look better on offense. Hey, I don't want to get into it because we're gonna talk about it Sunday, but they look kind of decent this past week. For a minute, I can't wait to talk about that game too, because
I think the last thing I say in reference to Green Bay into Jets is I think Aaron Rodgers needs to get out the mentality nothing's his fault. Well, that's
man, you got to live with that when you got that guy on your team, man. He always been doing that. He been known for that. So it is what it is. He gonna have that mentality. That's why they was always saying. That's why only certain teammates are his friends, and the rest. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole squad. It's a 53-man roster year after year after year. Why you only friends with 8 people? You know what I'm saying? Why you only got 8 friends out of all that? Like seriously, it makes you wonder because you're not. We all know that he hasn't been a great leader like he could be. He got the potential to be a great leader, but I don't think he ever wanted to be a leader in that respect, right? Because he ain't never step up to the plate and really don it and really know what it takes to be that kind of leader, man. And
and which that's been some of the rhetoric because they could continue to compare him to Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, in which they said the difference is they were leaders. You know what I'm saying? Because Aaron Rodgers has been more athletic in everything. Light years in being athletic to Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, but yet he only has one championship, and that was almost 30 years ago. I mean, it's over 20 years ago. So, I mean, it comes up that saying that let's take a real quick down memory lane. What do you think Andrew Luck would be right now?
Andrew Luck would be killing the game right now. I think he would. Hey, if anybody was going to challenge Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson's, the Joe Burrows, it would have been that guy. Andrew Luck lived up to his name. He had a lot of luck with him. You know what I'm saying? Did Andrew Luck not have a lot of luck on his side? Like, that guy was the luckiest guy you ever seen, man. Like getting crushed out there. He the only guy I ever seen can throw 4 interceptions in the first half and turn around and throw 5 touchdowns in the second. You know what I mean? Like, Andrew Luck was that guy. I think the league really missed something special with when he retired so early. You know, cutting his career short that early. I'm not gonna say prematurely. He did what he had to do. You know what I'm saying?
He said he would have been dead right now.
Now, I think they would have had a different line though. See, I think, you know, like, you got to think, with no Andrew Luck, they was forced to rebuild. They was forced to make the moves that they had to make to try to make the team good again after he left. You know, I mean, look how good Pittman was just that year or two he played with Luck. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain people, look how good those receivers were playing with Luck. Like, he made them all shine.
Gonzalez, yeah, it was a couple. He had a couple of, yeah.
He made them shine.
Dang, you keep a team. You know what? I think OSU is wide receiver U when I think about it.
Well, now it is now. Yeah, now in the 20 teens, the late 2000s and the 20 teens, yeah, and going into the 2020s is all Ohio State with the receivers, right? Because we know back in the days, who was they putting out? Like Terry Glenn. They wasn't really putting out receivers like they putting out now, but they putting out some outstanding receivers, which is a switch, right? Because one while they was putting out outstanding running backs, and now it's receivers.
So, like you said, we got 2 games, and we're gonna definitely get to a second. Woo, what's going on? How you doing, brother? So, when you look at it, right, it's 2 games. Like we said, we've talked a little bit in reference to New Orleans. Unfortunate situation. Like I said, I think Sean McVay. I mean, not Sean McVay. Peyton is looking his chops at this. At them getting back into it. David Boston. Wide receiver Boston. So when you look at it, I know not David Boston.
I forgot about
Boston. Yeah, Boston was over. So when you look at it, right, and coming back into it, do you see it any way that New Orleans could potentially win tonight, or saying either or, like without saying what your pick is early? Or just a rhetorical question: is there a possibility for New Orleans is up against the wall right now? And then go ahead.
I think they can win. I think they can win. I don't know if they will. I think it's just gonna take something. Like, you shorthanded receivers right now, so your focus you got to switch your focus to Kamara. But can Kamara really handle the load though? Can he handle like, we've never really seen this guy carry the ball 25 times or 30 times. They keep him limited between 15, 15 to 20, under 20 carries or 20 touches and stuff a game. I think now, I think you got to go to a screen game with Kamara, like, in order to be effective. And we know how the screen game is getting crushed this season overall in totality. But I think you have no choice.
And then when you look at it, like you said, due to the fact of the earliness, we also look at picking the early game, which this week is going to be New England versus Jacksonville, to where you just saw May. He had 3 touchdowns, although they did lose, but he had 3 touchdowns.
What did I tell you? I told you May. Now they may have lost, but what I told you, they was going to put points. They put more points on the board in one game with May than they did with Brissett, like, the whole time, bro. I told you that was gonna happen, Trey. I told you that was gonna happen. I mean, they still lost. They still sorry. They still a sorry team, y'all. But Drake May is way better than Jacoby Brissett, and it showed in one game.
It might have been who they explained, but in any case,
is that what it is?
It might have been. I'm not going to say it wasn't, but it could have been.
Did they play the Texans? Wait a minute. They played the Texans.
Was it the Texans?
New England? They played the Texans.
It was the Texans.
Wait a minute. They ain't played. Stop it. They ain't play no, garbage team. They played the Texans.
But they're going to be up against Jacksonville. So we continue to wonder. We obviously know that Trevor Lawrence is the better of the quarterbacks from his draft class.
Is he really? Man, this guy, Trevor Lawrence, you can keep that $175 passing with all those receivers you got over there. Man, this guy ain't even throwing 200 yards. He ain't getting over 220 in a game. How is that possible when you got Ridley, What's the other guy? Man, you got too many weapons. You know what I
No,
mean?
you don't have Ridley anymore. Ridley is in
Not really.
Tennessee. He
Not
got
really.
He got Brian Thomas. He got
Yeah, you
Christian
got
Kirk.
Thomas, Kirk. What's somebody else was talking, man, but he was making the catches this last game. He caught 12. Ingram or something like that. What was his name? Something. He caught. He had like 12 catches at over 100 and something yards for Jacksonville last week. But it was like he was the only guy that was doing something that was trying to help Trevor Lawrence out. I'm not putting it all on Trevor Lawrence because that team is sorry. But man, come on, Trevor. Come on, Trevor. At this point in your career, you starting to remind me of Herbert. You should be way better. Your projections was way better than what you're doing. Now you playing like Danny Dimes. You playing like you. It's no separation between you and Daniel Jones. You know what I'm saying?
I know you want to answer that there, CC.
What he said? Georgia versus Texas. Stop it. Texas all day. Longhorns. Longhorns gonna rout them. It ain't gonna be close.
That's interesting. It could be. So who was you just talking about? What was the game? 1 second as I'm looking up because I wanted to get that individual who you was talking about. It was who was it season? Dang, Jacksonville. Hold on. But in any case, it's going to be as I look this up. I think in-state is gonna show and tell. Jacksonville. I don't know Trevor Lawrence. I do think he's saying coach out of here. I do think Trevor Lawrence is the better of the group, but you gotta look. He's up against Mac Jones, like you know, saying that the all of them Mac Jones, Justin Fields. That was his draft class in which they haven't amounted to anything. So it's by association. Honestly, he's the better quarterback from that draft class. Oh, you talking about the tight end Evan Ingram?
Yeah, he was the only guy that was doing something. That's what I was saying. Ingram was his name, right? I thought that was
Yeah,
his name, but
yeah.
but he balled. But you got these weapons. It's you got two decent running backs. I do agree that the coach gonna be out of there too because like the coach gave up.
You think Doug Peterson done?
Huh?
You think Doug Peterson's done?
Yeah, I think so. It don't seem like he wanted, man. It don't seem like him. It don't seem like him. Like we talked Sirianni and Hurts not being on the same page. It don't seem like him and Trevor Lawrence on the same page. We saw what Peterson can do to that team if they all buying in, right? Did they not pull a comeback in the playoffs a couple of years ago? Did they not, come back on Herbert and them and beat them in the playoffs? Like that's what you could potentially be if you all buying in. But I don't think they buying in no more to Peterson, whatever Peterson's putting out there, and it shows, man. They sorry. And I picked them, by the way, to win last week because I thought they had it for sure. Like they was going to at least win over there, and now they're still over there. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I wonder. Well, I also thought maybe that might have been Staley doing kind of like in the moment and making bad calls at the wrong moments and everything like that. But in any case,
We
Nick
saw them
Chubb.
live. Trey, you and I saw them live. We saw Jacksonville live against the Texans. Trevor Lawrence didn't look really bad because I sent you a text. It was like, man, Trevor Lawrence, he doing all right in this game, right?
Yeah.
But when it all came down to it, what did he do? Incompletion. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. When they could have stole a win, he gave the Texans the ball back. You know what I'm saying? Man, you got to salt that one away, bro. One first down can change that whole game, and he couldn't. He couldn't do it. You got to throw it to get it.
So, two defensive players are out there that I would love the 49ers to get their hands on, but I know it's not going to happen.
Adams. Did he just get cut? Just get cut? Well, he asked to be cut, and I don't know why did he ask.
Because he asked because he wasn't getting. He felt like they wasn't utilizing him. He only played like 28 snaps in 7 games, and the majority of those snaps came in the last two games before. I think in week 3 and 4, and in 1 and 2 he only took 2 snaps. So he's feel like he's not being utilized in Tennessee. So yes, just Adams because Hufanga is out for us, and Mustafa is out for us. Both are the defensive. I mean the strong safeties. So we down there. We need Adams. We need a thumper. but it's someone that's going to come down in the box and someone that's going to level, is going to separate ball from player. We can use that. So I wouldn't be mad and kicking the wheels on him. And the other one is as a loner, because like Hassan Reddick as a
Well, I
loner.
thought he was trying to do something with the Jets though.
No, they told him he can seek a trade.
Oh, he can look elsewhere. See,
Yeah.
I don't see the Jets don't know what they're doing. Bring that man into the fold now. You trying to build a championship thing, and that guy is already a champion. What? Why do you not want champions? Why are you? If you're the New York Jets, why are you allergic to champions? Like I don't even want to talk about. Oh, well, Aaron Rodgers is a champion so many years ago. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying Reddick, he could do something to that defense. You already got a decent defense. Add that guy to the defense, and then you wreck shop.
I think it's on him. He doesn't want to be there for whatever reason, or he wants his money. So that's why I said maybe he's willing to go somewhere to be a loner. They're going to talk later on, in which of course a lot of people continue to talk about, well, hey, he should go here, here, here. But at this point, he's like,
man, we would love to have you in Dallas. Boy,
that came up him in
boy,
Dallas.
You would bring some heart to a heartless team. We need some heart, like for real. Like what was that? The Cowardly Lion in search of a heart. I saw like the Wizard of Oz. We the Wizard of Oz, baby. We need a heart. So come give us some heart because we ain't got it. My team ain't got it, man. That's why I'm not even repping today. Like, no, I'm not even repping. Like that's just awful. But anyway, come to us, man. If Jerry Jones is smart, he tried to throw some money at him and get him. But you ain't paid Michael Parsons, so that might tick some people off. But man, hey, Michael Parsons ain't getting it done solo. I tell. Let's just be real. Trey, before we get into our picks and stuff, this is what I want to bring up because I've been thinking about this for a minute, right? Like I heard somebody say that TJ Watt should be in the MVP conversation. You know what I mean? Already
MVP?
early on, right? Yeah, I heard he might be, he should be in the MVP conversation or whatever. But I was like, defensive player of the year, that's how that go. They don't never hardly get the MVPs. Like the last defensive guy to get the MVP was who? I mean, it's been a while, right? Like,
was that Taylor? Lawrence Taylor?
No, didn't Ray Lewis get the MVP one year? Was he MVP or was it just Super Bowl MVP?
I think it was Super Bowl MVP.
Oh, he was Defensive Player of the Year in Super Bowl. That's right. But yeah, it's been a while. So what I look at is this. We keep comparing different stuff. This is what I want to say about my Dallas Cowboys in reference to the whole Jerry Jones bumping his guns on the radio and stuff. And then you watching certain guys come off the bench and they can actually ball and they can actually stop the run. Why ain't these guys been playing all season? What are we doing? I mean, for man, that makes me mad. Like we got some guys that can play, but you picking your talent. That's definitely got to be a Jerry Jones thing and not a coach thing. Jerry Jones got to be telling this guy who to play and who not to play. Because what I'm seeing is, what my point is this. We got all this hype about Michael Parsons. I like Michael Parsons, people. Don't get me wrong. But he's been at 13 sacks 3 consecutive seasons since he's been there. And we watching TJ Watt constantly go up, elevate. What did TJ Watt do in college? Not what he's doing now. See, he's elevated his pro game. We haven't seen the evolution of Michael Parsons. We haven't seen the growth of Michael Parsons, is what I'm saying. Like, this guy's not growing. This guy's like Peter Pan right now. Just giving you the same thing over and over. I mean, seriously, it's like Peter Pan, the boy that never grew, because he's giving you the same thing over and over, people. It's like, when is he going to become that beast like a Myles Garrett, will he ever become a beast like them?
I mean, so
Bosa and those dudes, will he ever become a beast like them?
But I mean, so let's play anti-advocate, right? So with that, my anti-advocate response to that is he's the only one who has played in 2 positions as well. See, so he doesn't have. So do you think it would be predicated his growth or his ascension would be predicated if they decided to leave him at one of the 2 positions? Even you're gonna play outside linebacker or you're gonna play defensive end? Don't you know what I'm saying? One of those 2. Do you think he would sit up and be able to, if he had one position he was playing from and just going it from that, do you think he'll be able to like turn the corner and push up to where, okay, he has 15, 16 sacks in the year? Or do you think do you think that played into him getting what he's getting? Because no one knows.
I think it's his effort sometimes. It's him. It's man. I watch the games, so I'm gonna tell you what I see. I see a guy with mad talent that's always trying to show off a lot of times. Seriously, he had so many chances to when they played against the Ravens. He had so many chances to hit Lamar Jackson if he just broke down and stayed in his lane in position or whatever. But he always end up getting juked out his socks and chasing the man. My thing is for real. My thing is he has no discipline, none whatsoever. He has no discipline. Like, yo, they killing you on the run. You on the backside of the run. Yeah, you gonna go and get Henry down the field, but you can catch him. You can catch him 4 or 5 yards quicker as fast as you are. But you taking bad angles. I mean, this guy sometimes he's just not there, dude. It's up to him. And sometimes he wasting his time. Why are you body slamming and showing how strong you are with the offensive lineman? Why are you doing all that when the goal is to get the quarterback? I think he holds himself back sometimes. I don't think he have that. That's what I'm saying. He came from Penn State, by the way. They wasn't winning nothing. What I'm saying is Jerry Jones is good at finding talent, but he don't find ones that have this and this, man. He just finds talent. Like you got a bunch of talent. You got a bunch of talent, but nobody plays discipline. Very undisciplined defense. Look at Diggs. That's another one. This guy had 12 interceptions before, and now he think every year is going to be the same. He always out of position. He getting burnt. He unprepared. Like this guy, seriously, this guy is very unprepared. Like, yo.
But to remember, Diggs was, but in my opinion, Diggs has always been that person. Like he's susceptible to, he plays too hard. He doesn't, if you can get like, yeah, he plays too hard. Like I'm saying he's aggressive. He's too aggressive. That's what I mean.
They burning you.
Like, yeah, man, he's getting burnt too, but he's also playing he plays for
too good to be getting burnt. But see, that's what I'm saying. The discipline. Where are the coaches? You got Zimmer. Your job is to make sure these guys are in the positions a guy should not get burnt consistently when he's that good, Trey. He should not be out of position that much. It's like, yo, what are you teaching him over there? Are you not showing him that, hey, you out of position? You should have been here. You should have, is Dak the only one that's forced to look at this little screen throughout the game and see what he's doing wrong? Like, or the rest of, I mean, for real, like take CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is a good receiver, but he gives no effort. Every ball has to hit him in the hands. He doesn't dive for a ball. He wouldn't even knock the ball out of a guy's hand right in front of him for an interception. Man, knock that ball down. Jump in the way. Do something. These guys are very undisciplined, man. I'm so disappointed in my team right now, Trey. I mean, somebody got to say it. Like, you can't just put this all on Jerry Jones and what he talks. It's the players on the field sometimes. And these dudes not showing up. They very undisciplined. We knew it when they was getting all those penalties a couple of years ago that they was an undisciplined team. But it shows in the tackling principles. It shows in the coverages. It shows in the effort of trying to catch passes. It's like CeeDee Lamb. Instead of looking at Dak all the time, dive for a ball one time. I dare you. You just might catch it. You just might make the ESPN highlights. So that's like for something other than yelling at your quarterback. I'm just saying, you just might make the highlights.
Well, he said he told his, what everyone was wondering what he was saying. He's like, basically he was saying jump ball for a jump ball. So he's like, put the ball up instead of.
But you gotta jump for it to get it, though. You gotta jump. Stop it. I'm just saying, man. Like, I'm so disappointed in these guys because I see all the talent. All these guys that I named got mad talent, man. It could be great. These dudes could be first team defensive players, pro bowlers, but we never gonna get to a championship level until they start playing more discipline. You know why the 49ers are where they are? Because they play discipline. No matter who. And how many in the last 3 years, y'all haven't had the same defensive coordinator in 3 years, right?
Correct.
I mean, but y'all still disciplined. So that's got to be the head coach. That's got to be Shanahan or somebody making sure there's some discipline within that defense. I mean, I'm just saying we don't have any safeguards to put these guys on point to say, man, stay at home sometimes. To say, hey, man, a simple knockdown will do us a lot of good on third down. On 3rd and 12, knock it down. Stop trying to go for the great interception or the chicken wing tackle. Oh, boy, I've seen so many little chicken wing tackles this year. Oh, boy, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Stop trying to lower the boom and tackle somebody. A simple knockdown on 3rd down gets you all the hype and all the love that you need. You won't need a pick every time, man. I just see a lot of undiscipline, and I just had to get that off my chest because my Cowboys, man, y'all letting me down.
So before we go into the conversation and the picks for the two games, Of course, some of this I'm very sure we're gonna cover again on Sunday. Is what do you think about Justin Fields' comments in reference to him presumably being benched?
Well, what he said, he's like, if he played better, he won't get benched or something along those lines.
And he
He
feels
telling
like
the
he
truth.
wasn't playing. He feels like he
His
wasn't
play,
playing up far.
but his play, man, Justin Fields is a great athlete, man. He know what kind of capabilities he has. I don't know why he hasn't just fully broke out of his shell. I don't know why he being timid out there. It's like, man, stop thinking and go back to those instincts that got you there on some plays. I know you learning a new system. I know Pittsburgh this ain't Ohio State where you just throw the ball up to Harrison and them guys. This ain't that, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. You got to play within the structure of Pittsburgh's offense in order to lead up to that. But you got to earn that trust. And I'm not sure if Russ got that trust neither from Tomlin, because we know how Tomlin likes to try to win. But you on a team, you went to a team where you know how Tomlin gonna try to win. He gonna try to make the game as ugly as possible. That's the only way Tomlin has ever won. He ain't never won pretty, so he gonna keep it ugly. Like, it was a song back in the day. What was called Super Ugly. He gonna keep it super ugly. You know what I mean? That's what Tomlin does. So all you have to do, Justin Fields, is manage the game. You don't have to have 300-yard games in Pittsburgh. You don't need that. You just have to manage the game, not turn the ball over. Whether you run it in or pass it in, score a touchdown every now and then. That's what Tomlin wants. So you're doing all right. You're doing all right for what Pittsburgh is. Y'all got a winning record.
For now, 4-2. We'll see how it starts to come. If Russell Wilson is afforded the opportunity to start, and they go out and end up losing this weekend to New York, do you instantly go back to Justin the next week, or do you allow them to compete and make a determination from there?
It's too late in the season for a quarterback battle, man. You got to pick a horse and stick with it. Like, for real. We know how that game go. We've seen that carousel. It didn't work out in Carolina a few years ago when they had Darnold and Baker Mayfield switching off and all that. It didn't work. It doesn't work in the pros. It don't work it barely works in college ball, right? Like, when you're trying to use two quarterbacks. So, nah, you got to pick one and stick with it and live with the results. I think Russell Wilson. Um, I think the only reason, if you trying to put points on the board, you got to give Russell Wilson a shot, because Fields ain't putting up all the points that you need. The offense led by Fields ain't putting up the points. But if you're not worried about points, like I said, and you're just trying to win ugly, then leave Russell Wilson where he's at and stay with Justin. But if you want to try to get that offense some juice, then yeah, go with Russell Wilson, see what you got. And I would go. I mean, you would have to do it 2 weeks though. I mean, the guy rusty. He been sitting down. You got to give him a week to warm up, right?
Yeah,
And then a week to really see how it pays off.
true that. Okay, so it's getting close. 7 minutes till is game time. Of course, we'll make sure you get the picks in from there. I'm very sure Bishop will slide us the picks later on. So for this week, right, like you said, tonight, Thursday night game. First of all, do you think this is going to be like the other Thursday night games that we've had this year, to where it was a good game, or are we going to see our first 2 years of Thursday night games tonight? What do you see in this? The Broncos and the Saints. Broncos going to the Big Easy in the Dome. Who you got tonight?
I'm going with the Broncos because Sean Payton going back to New Orleans. They ain't won nothing since he left. Like, he got their only Super Bowl as a franchise. I think that's why they showing this game. By the way, I was wondering at first, why are we watching the Broncos and Saints? And it's got to be about Peyton going back to New Orleans, because that's the only thing exciting about it. Like, both of these teams are not really pushing the needle for me, even though the Broncos do have a winning record. I just think this.
500.
Yeah, they had 500, right? But I
Yeah.
just think this. The Broncos. I'm picking the Broncos just because the Saints. Man, there's too many injuries on both sides of the ball. Really, they got a lot of injuries. They playing patchwork with their defense, stuff like that. And then when you look at the Broncos, I just think this game is going to come down to it's going to be a close game because the Broncos have young talent offensively, and so Bo Nix gonna keep them in the game, go keep the Saints in the game. If this was Bo Nix, a veteran quarterback, we wouldn't even have a discussion. We'd be like, they're gonna blow him out the water. Like, but it's gonna be a closer game because of the youth of the Denver Broncos.
So, of course, when it's showing you talk about it, that's right, the Broncos. So, in this instance, only because it's really depleted. Like before this, like we were talking about before it came on, I had a whole New Orleans Saints. But then when you realize Chris Olave is out, Rashid Shaheed is out, Taysom Hill is out, Derek Carr is out. The defense is starting to be hobbled. They're carrying the group for the most part. Spencer Rattler looked good until they figured out what they got to do, and he got shut down. I'm very sure Peyton is going to be watched that, or has watched that, and has put together a plan to try to knock off Spencer Rattler. It just seems like nothing is lining up for the Saints in this aspect. They started out 2-0, looked like a hot team, and they've dropped 4 since. And only 2 of those games have they been without Derek Carr. So it's like at this point, it's like, what are we looking at, or what's going to be the outcome for the New Orleans Saints? And I don't see it for changing against the Broncos, who are coming in, even though Bo Nix looks kind of shaky, in which they're having conversations of maybe putting Taylor in and seeing what he's got in Peyton's offense. In any case, either one of them with their weapons is going to be able to trump what New Orleans has in its weapons, and which isn't much after Alvin Kamara, I don't think. So it's just an open book for me. I'm going with the Broncos as well. I haven't got Bishop's picks yet, but I mean, I'm sure he'll probably go that route as well, unless he try to play catch up on me and decides to go the other way. But we'll see. Early Sunday morning, New England Patriots, Jacksonville Jaguars. Who you got?
Man, I hate to even pick this game. Both of these teams are, man, this is like a battle of futility. What up? What up? What up? What up, Monk? But yeah, I gotta go, man. This is a tough one. But I'm gonna take the Patriots. I'm gonna take Drake May and the Patriots in this one because I don't have. Like I said, I picked Jacksonville last week and they just bombed. So I'm going with the Patriots. I think Drake May. I think 2 touchdowns from Drake May will win this game.
This one is a rough one, like you said. It really is. This will be the one to mess up my streak. Even standing back from last week, this will be the one to mess up my streak. Because actually tonight will be the one to mess up my streak, honestly. But in any case, this would be the mess up one because in one hand, you got New England that's starting out, just getting started in a sense with Drake May. They lost the game, but that was against Houston, as you pointed out. And here they come back the next week in across the water in London versus Jacksonville that really hasn't got anything going. But again, Jacksonville has played a plethora of games, more games than anyone overseas since the NFL has started this overseas commitments. Jacksonville has been there a lot, in which is almost becoming like a second home to them. And so this might be the game in which they got even Ingram back, which they now can game plan a little better. I'm sure. ETN didn't have the best of games. Those fantasy football people, he got a negative 0.1 points for his fantasy football owners. Tank Bisbee was all right, but you can't expect him to do that all game wrong. I think someone's out with a concussion. I think it's Brian Thomas might be out with a concussion. So they got their own situations as mounting, which it makes it hard to make a selection because it's like, are we going to see New England get a dub finally for Drake May, and he's going to start to turn? So, Ramondre Stevenson didn't do all that great. So I don't know. And then you have, of course, Jacksonville has their own, but I'm going with Jacksonville. I as much as I honestly, honestly, up until that last epiphany in my head, I was thinking I'm going with New England. But I keeping in what we have done, New England has to show me. And you know what I'm saying, and I didn't get
Jacksonville don't.
I mean, true that's true. But I seen Jackson, like you said, we seen Jacksonville up close and personal. We watched them, and it came down, in my opinion, to the bad play calling on a couple of occasions that basically allow Houston to get that dub because Jacksonville had them on the ropes.
True,
But of
but if
course, they
Trevor
went
Lawrence
for,
executes,
yeah.
then the play calling is irrelevant.
But
Sometimes it's
that
about the execution.
the 4th and 1 on the goal on the
Yeah.
not 4th and 1, 4th and 3
Yeah.
in the waning seconds, and you call the quarterbacks a quarterback sneak. You know what I'm saying? That thing that wasn't conducive. If you're gonna do that, go ahead and spread the field or give it to somebody, give it to a thumper, and let them try to get in there. So that's when I look at that. That one wasn't his fault unless he checked to that. But I mean, besides that, it was one of those things. So
are you saying Jacksonville tanking? I'm just playing. I'm just playing, people.
You know who I think is tanking?
I
think the Raiders are tanking.
You think they tanking?
Yeah, they're tanking.
Not with the GOAT about just getting
minority ownership. I'm very sure. I'm very sure.
Not with the GOAT. No,
I'm very sure Tom is in there telling them or letting them know this is what you need to get as quarterback, or giving them a list of quarterbacks. Like I don't know if he can say like I honestly have to continue to look and take a look in a hardcore look. Like this whole Shedeur Sanders being the top quarterback coming out of college thing.
Who said that though?
When you got Cam Ward and you know what I'm saying, and those things of that, like I don't know, even Gabriel Dillon, like come on, like I've watched Gabriel Dillon go, of course, for long because he's playing.
Shedeur Sanders is only getting the light because of who his daddy is, man. Let's just keep it real. Like that stuff affords you certain things nowadays, man. Only because Deion. I mean, this guy, he ain't really. I ain't seen nothing impressive that this guy does for the Colorado Buffaloes, man. I ain't seen nothing impressive. I haven't seen one game where he just really, really lit it up against a quality opponent. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, you lighted it up against Colorado State, but every time you play a quality opponent, you lose. You know what I'm saying? You lose.
I give him his props. He handled his business against what was their first game? South Dakota. Like
South Dakota. Who is South Dakota?
But South Dakota is the creme de the creme of the Division 3 or Division 3.
What? Say that again. A Division 1 school against who, man?
Or Division 2, whatever South or Division 2.
But you feel what I'm saying, though?
Like whatever division South Dakota is.
Who did they just play? Kansas State. You can't beat Kansas State. Like, come on, man. Like, you talk about a first round pick, he can't beat Kansas State. First overall pick can't beat Kansas State. Get out of here. Caleb Williams would have smashed Kansas State. Like, you know what I'm saying? He lost to what? Bigger teams, better teams than him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, like, no, dude. Like, I haven't seen it from Shedeur Sanders. And everybody ain't like they scared to say it because that's Deion's son, man. But you ain't seen no number 1 overall pick out of this guy. I mean,
I guess that's the rhetoric as I see on the different outlets that are talking.
But you ain't seen it. That's like Bronny. That's like Bronny making the Lakers. That's like, yeah, okay. We know who his daddy is.
Hold up, hey. No one said that Bronny would be anything
like,
with the Lakers. Shout out to 2000.
That's like Bronny making the Lakers.
NBA 5 days away. We're gonna have to get a show.
You know his daddy had a lot to do with that. That's all I'm saying, man. Like, and Deion is that guy. He's the marketing guy. This guy ain't even good at commercials. Shedeur ain't even good at commercials. Like, for real. Stop it. I seen the chicken commercials. You don't even make me want to eat KFC. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, man. But nah, for real, people, keep it light. But nah, I'm not gonna bash Shedeur. I think he decent, but he not that great, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that too, because he gets sacked a lot. That's true. And we talking football and stuff. He does take a lot of hits. He takes a lot of sacks. Some of it ain't just the offensive line. It's him holding on to the ball in the pocket, trying to play the pocket. I mean, he got some good qualities, don't get me wrong. But first overall pick, though, man, that's supposed to be special. You're supposed to be a special guy to get that.
I mean, some people have done worse, I guess. I don't know.
Was Baker Mayfield not special in college, man? He was great. That guy was great in college.
He was a Heisman winner, too.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, Heisman winner. You know what I'm saying? Team was competing for something. Like, those are the guys that was special. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, a lot of the guys that get first overall pick, it's something special about them. Remember years ago, who was that? The Texans could have got Matt Leinart or Reggie Bush, and then they went with Demario Williams, or whatever his name is. You know what I'm saying? Who was wrecking shop his first 2-3 years in the league, though. He was killing it the first few years. Like, let's just keep it real. But it was a surprise pick that they didn't take. I mean, sometimes that's what I see in this upcoming draft. Like, it's going like, if anything, man, go with a skilled player, a defensive player, because I just don't see this guy as an overall quarterback. That's all. I mean, as the first pick quarterback.
True that. So, of course, before we get out here, I was watching my timeline, and I guess you could say a little birdie came up and dropped something on my timeline in reference to somebody getting their own brand.
Oh,
You know anything about that?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that's why I'm wearing the hat. That's why I'm wearing the hat. If y'all can see it, people. Coffee King, man. Shout out to Coffee King out of Sioux City, man. I gotta show them a lot of love. To stimulate your mind. You know, my radio show. I don't have it right now, but I'm bringing it back. Podcast, whatever you want to call it. Stimulate Your Mind brand has just been. We're gonna be on some coffee, man. I'm having my own blend of coffee. Lots of caffeine in that coffee since it stimulates your mind. You know, a medium is gonna be a medium roast with a hint of dark. So check that out. I'll let y'all know when it's rolling out. We're working out all the kinks to it right now, setting up the brand to bring it to y'all. So be looking out for that real soon. And again, shout out to Coffee King for doing their thing with your boy, man. Like, they showing your boy some love. Love that.
That's what's up. I don't drink coffee, so I would have to just take people's opinions around me, or you're saying, or just have to listen to everybody. Be like, oh yeah, this is the greatest coffee ever. Is that a brand? That brand is pretty big in your area.
Yes. Not just with coffee, but also with the espresso machines, the services and stuff out here. As far as everything, man, we got all the scooter coffee brands. I mean, the scooter shops and stuff like that on lock out here. A lot of coffee brands all over. I'm traveling all over the tri-state, Nebraska, South Dakota, Iowa. I'm all over the place out here. Was in South Dakota today, Canton, South Dakota today. You know, like we repping the brand strong, man. We trying to put it out there. And here's this, and I'll drop another secret. It's called Coffee King. The name of the company is Coffee King, people. You can look it up, coffeeking.inc. But the reason why it's pink on the hat, the king is actually a queen, if you can if you can dig it. If you can dig it. Shout out to Lady Boss Ventures, actually.
So if with the brand, the Coffee King brand, is it all just ground, or do y'all have K cups, or the different? What's the distribution?
Oh, they mix right now, so it's grounds. You can buy it by the pound, you can buy it by the ounce or whatever. Like it's ground right now. With all that other stuff coming later, like coming soon. Like Lady Boss Ventures just took over, hasn't run the company very long, right?
Okay.
They only in the infancy, like a year in, and they brought me in, and my role is starting to slowly but surely expand, people. So be on the lookout. Like I said, coffeeking.inc, they already got some good flavors out. As we perfect this flavor for the stimulate your mind, I'll have some samples and stuff like that for people, for the coffee enthusiasts. So get at me.
Aficionados of the coffee world. So that's what's up. Maybe we're gonna have to sit up and talk and see some other things. As you speaking, I start seeing all kind of visions. Nostradamus, always loaded. So of course I appreciate.
Man, before we get out of here, let me
Yes,
go
sir,
ahead
yes, sir,
and
yes,
give this
sir.
guy his props. Let me
No, we can wait till Sunday. We can wait till Sunday.
All right.
Because I want to burn it to where it's like, okay, it's like, oh, I already said so. We can wait till Sunday. It can wait till Sunday. We can wait till Sunday.
All right, man.
Because I want your man on too. It's like, no, I don't want you to say. I want him to say it.
Right.
And you know that ain't gonna happen. But in case, especially if I get one of these wrong tonight.
Hey, that little animated thing on TikTok though. I said, why he got me talking and Bishop quiet, man? Come on, man. I was like, that was so unfair. Like, nah, I'm just.
Well, which one? I did like three of them. I always sent the one, the bow down one to us, but the one of them was I tried to switch it, like say the talking or whatever case like that, and then the other one I did was for was like me going through you to get the bishop or whatever case like that. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I mean, it's funny. It's all fun in the games because the last time I did that, I did it on in one of the fantasy leagues in which I sent my name, the team name is called Zip 'em Up. And so after like my second week of winning, I sit up and start sending out. I put someone being body bag, but after I did it, after I sit up and did it, they
Hi,
came back
mom. Hi, mom.
after they did it. They came back and they was like, and I got smashed by the dude, and so he sit up and returned the favor by posting my talking about you know what I'm saying. So I was like, okay, I want to chill for a second, get some more belts dubs under my belt, and then I'll finish it off. But in any case, that's our show for today. Like I say, y'all know where to catch us. 1100 hours on Sunday, same place, same time. Set your notifications so when we sit up and hit the live, it dings you. You ain't gotta do nothing but turn on, press the button, press your screen or however you watch, and turn on. Check us out: YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, LinkedIn, any one of those. Hopefully, TikTok coming soon. As I get more and more subscribers on my TikTok, so that way I can go live there and then push it here, and then probably double back and do it. So it's a lot of stuff going on. So in any case, I greatly appreciate y'all tapping in today. Look forward again to it on Sunday. Have all the crew. Trying to see if I can get someone on this guest speaker and make it a whole. See if we can catch a vibe as we do. Anytime anyone want to come on and be a guest speaker, guest picker, just hit us up, let us know, and we'll get y'all in there and see what you know. Of course, any last words before we get out of there?
Man, have a great one. Can't wait till Sunday, man. We got a lot to talk about still.
Yes, sir. Enjoy y'all night. See y'all Sunday.